affected if the captain had less power.
So
The ship would be a mess if the captain had less power because the captain probably wouldn't have the right to boss the crew around and tell them to clean it up. So the crew wouldn't care. They'd probably just be having a party on the deck all the time.
yeah, and the ship might not
Party
be,
out at sea.
and the ship might
Guys have to listen to them.
end up not being as valuable for us, and we might not have as much money as we did before when the captain had all this power.
And say, when they come back, our ship is wrecked. That's bad for the sailors because we're not going to pay them as much because we got to take some of their money out to repair our ship.
Because the captain couldn't keep him under control because he didn't have enough power.
Okay, so why did you hire these specific captains that you have?
We trained them and we took our captain because he was a strong guy and we could trust him. We knew that he will boss people around, but we need somebody that's pretty
We
bossy.
need him to keep that crew
Because
in order.
because say he might pick a bad crew, maybe he needs to boss them around because they may just be out running, going around, and so we need somebody a little more bossy than just like a guy that's just like, oh, whatever.
I might as well agree with you, but I'm not saying it now, that you need bossy, like not super bossy, but you need captains that are going to be on task, but I really don't think that it's a great idea to just, and I understand with the consequences that there will be consequences if you don't do it right, or whatever you're telling them to do, but I think it's bad that you guys are tying people to house and whipping them. And what makes you think that's a good thing?
Well, we're not like whipping them all the time. Just if they do something really bad that we think they need a really bad consequence for.
Yeah,
We don't whip them if they just tie a knot wrong and stuff. We whip them if they do something really bad.
Yeah, we make sure we have captains that aren't like afraid to whip the crew, but know when to stop and stuff.
And we wouldn't hire a captain who doesn't like help the crew as much, and we would hire one that just sits whistling and drowning the boat.
Yeah, if we hired captains who didn't give the crew consequences, yeah, and that would be really dumb. Because,
It would get chaotic.
yeah, we're smart enough to know that if we're going to hire a good captain, it's got to be a captain that's going to give the crew consequences.
We need a captain that's going to do a lot of work and not sit around steering a boat while whistling. He's going to do work too.
And whipping is not the worst consequence. We could make them lose a job. We could
Throw them
throw them overboard if we really wanted to. The captain has
But
those
we whip
rights.
them instead.
But
So
we whip them because it is a bad punishment. I agree. I don't want to get whipped. But so say they don't clean. Okay? We whip them. But they don't clean again. They got to learn their lesson. Say we don't do anything and they don't clean again. They don't just keep doing it. Our ship is not going to be good. They're not going to be learning good. We're trying to teach them for life. When things come, you got to do it. You can't just stop and just go around.
As we said
And be
before,
as lazy.
it helps them understand that there are consequences for doing things wrong.
we don't whip them if they do something wrong the first time. We should tell them, and then if they do it again, we whip them. We need to let them know the first time. If they think it's okay, we give them a really bad consequence.
But if say
Or if they do
we
something
just
really
throw
bad
them
the first
overboard,
time.
we don't do that. We whip them. I know it's bad, but we could take their life if we really needed to.
Or
Throw them into the ocean.
or shove them.
You can do a lot of horrible things.
Oh,
That's what we
Sam.
have done.
Yeah, really.
Last question, Naval Review Board.
At the beginning, you guys said that we only do it if they do something really bad. Is really bad to you guys asking a question?
Well, we didn't say that we wanted that captain to do that. We didn't.
Captains do that. We understand. We don't try to have it.
But when we hire captains that end up being like that,
We can hire 'em.
we
We
might
can-
not hire them again.
yeah, we have complete control
We don't
of
want
who
captains like
who
that.
is the captain on a certain ship.
But
And we can change who becomes the captain if we really want to and we think it's best.
say they do ask a question and we do whip them, it is pretty harsh.
We would fire that captain.
Yeah.
Why don't you?
But it's
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. We're going to have our last group in a minute.